to see so many more because it's still in the map pool. Here is, in the lower left hand corner, our player from Team Liquid, ladies and gentlemen. It's Liquid Bunny. Here's the blue Terran. And his opponent in the upper right hand corner, the next player out from ECVisualize. It's SnOvSki, our teal Protoss. Alright guys, so Bunny's going to drop down this first depot to get things started up here. And this time, no probe heading across the map from SnOvSki to try and proxy gateway. So, a little bit more of a slow start to this. A big shout out to all of you guys who are hitting that follow button. There's so many of you hitting follow. I genuinely can't take the time to shout out each and every one of you individually, although I would love to. So big thank you guys if you've been hitting the follow button here tonight. It's so great to see you guys are enjoying the stream enough to come check it out again in the future. So shout out to all of you guys. And again, here is to what should be an amazing season of SE to Improve Team League games. Again, we've got some matches coming up tomorrow. If you guys didn't know, at 6 PM Central European Time, we have Fnatic +2, which is Hearthstone, Seoul, Showtime, and Lambo. They'll be taking on Invasion Esport, of course. Invasion Esport, which, I mean, features DRG, Gumiho, Keen. They're pretty good, to say the least. So, that should be a pretty fun series tomorrow from 6 PM CET, and we should be following that up with Carnegie Sports versus AT Gaming. I'm still waiting on confirmation for that. Hopefully we can bring you guys hopefully we can bring you guys that. So be nice to bring you guys 2 games in a row once again. It's always a little bit of a shame if we have just one Team League match and then there's nothing to follow up, because a Team League match, I mean, best of 7, it can take a couple of hours, but if it's short, you know, it's over, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now what? Now what? Alright, so bit of Twitter drama going on as well between Rhett and ECV members. Oh, we've got everything, boys. We're delivering drama and, you know, anything you'd ask for. I guess we should probably mention it's a command center first for Bunny over here, and following this up with 2 barracks right now. So yeah, I mean, not too crazy, and he's going to get away with it. He scouts with the SEV and sees the Nexus just coming down for his opponent. There's a second gas being taken now, but just pretty standard stuff out of SnOvSki overall. A couple of Marines on the way, and third barracks on the way up, so just going into a very standard state of the game for a Terran at this kind of time. So a couple of orbital commands, of course, will finish morphing in very soon, and meals will begin to drop. The income will skyrocket, and there's that double gas going down as well, so you can get into his stim pack, get into his +1 factory for starport and medevacs, and we know how TVP goes. It's a very standard meta game, really, in terms of overall composition, especially out of the Terran player. You know, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, sometimes we see some 1-1-1 openings, you see some mine drop play and stuff, but it still leads into 3 barracks, stim, medevacs, into 5 racks, and a third base, into extra, you know, and so on. So, you know, we know what's going to come out of Bunny here, basically, and we're just seeing all the standard stuff for now. As a Twilight Council is going to be the real talking point for the next few moments, I think, as, you know, is it going to be Blink? Is it going to be Dark Templar? It's hidden over to this right-hand side, so really looking to hide this here. And I mean, without a Reaper, Bunny will maybe just be looking to rely on scans in terms of his detection. So if he just scans right, you know, slap bang in the middle of the main, he won't spot anything. It is going to be a Dark Shrine, is it? Well, he pulls in. Okay, it's going to be okay. I was going to say he's pulling a probe over. He might be a Dark Shrine, and he started blinking. I was like, well, I'm halfway through my word, so maybe not. So it's just going to be Blink here, adding on extra gateways as well. I'm just again trying to hide anything you can in the side of in the corner of this base. Try and deny any easy information from Bunny, because I mean, again, where do you scan if you decide to scout? If you decide to scout via scan, you know, in the middle is the best bet, because he can't guess that it's going to be over here. You know, it's just one of those things. You know, he gave up his scouting to get that early command center. Interesting choice of upgrade from Bunny. He's actually going to be upgrading combat shields here. It's about halfway done, and rallying his Marines into the middle of the map. Looks as though he really wants to push across here, try and get some damage done. So with this initial attack, we'll be looking to kind of bait for an overcharge, but I feel as though it's going to go one step further than that with that combat shields coming in. I feel it's going to really dive into this mineral line and try and pick off some workers, and you know, if he does that, he's probably going to lose all of these units. So to make it worthwhile, he's going to have to get about 9 or 10 workers, I would say. If he's going to lose all of this, he needs about 10 worker kills. Let's see what he does. Combat Shield's about to finish up, and he begins moving forwards. 2 Stalkers will guard the front door. As a couple more Stalkers getting walked in, and even these, even just this push seeing 4 Stalkers is really, really great, because it almost immediately reveals that we're going to see, it pretty much says there's going to be Blink coming in. These 2 Marauders are doing a lot of damage here. The Mothership Core's in trouble as well, and the Stalkers, SnOvSki is losing a lot here. 1 Stalker, 1 Mothership Core down. The army keeps moving forward. 2 more Stalkers will begin to warp in. But damage being done. There's 3 worker kills already. He's killed off so much of this army. And okay, he might not get them 10 worker kills, but he will get a lot of army. And he sees the Blink as well. So I think, you can probably justify that as being a successful trade. 3 workers, I think 3 Stalkers overall? Helps if I press the right button. 5 Stalkers even! Wow! He just killed 5 Stalkers, the Mothership Core, and 3 probes. For 2 Marauders and 12 Marines. Now that is worthwhile. Robobase starts up here for SnOvSki. Never really planned on doing too much with his Blink. And now he really can't. I mean, there should be 8 Stalkers, not just 3. And, 8 Stalkers is a lot different to 3. And Bunny even cancels one of his bunkers here. Feels as though he doesn't really need it. And, I mean, honestly, he doesn't. I mean, with 8 Stalkers, you can take so much map control. But with 3, they're so easily turned, they get turned around so easily. He probably has to reinvest in some of those as well, because going into Colossi attack, he's gonna most likely, at some point, want to have Stalkers to deal with Vikings. So, it's a little bit of a shame to have lost them very early. And I guess we should stop dwelling on it, otherwise it's going to get a little bit boring telling the same tale over and over again. +1 is about to finish here on this engineering bay. We've got concussive shells about to finish up also on the tech lab. A couple more Marauders, a couple more Marines coming out. First Medevac's about to hit the map as well as Stimpack. So getting to that point in the game where Terran player can start to really dominate. You can start moving across and start putting on some real pressure. Observer will see this first group of units moving forwards here. And SnOvSki with his first Colossus on the way should be alright against this, providing that, I mean, it's not that big of an army because he lost so much earlier. He should be just fine, providing he doesn't, the one dangerous thing I think is just the potential to get kind of drawn apart all over the place. A pylon here will get picked off. It's a little bit weird, a little bit out in the middle of nowhere. Obviously kind of spotting units coming towards the third base so you can respond quickly, but quite expensive to have an entire pylon to do that. Blinks away here. First Colossus is only just out right now, and ooh, them Stalkers, their Blink's on cooldown because he just used it, and a big split here by Bunny. Moves forwards, nice time up though, and this Colossus will stay alive, but Bunny's going to try and drop on top of it, and he blinks forwards, once again trying to keep this Colossus alive. It's so close, but he just doesn't quite manage it. Colossus goes down, but loses all of his units in doing so. Medevac falls as well. So it wasn't a free trade. Second Colossus on the way, but Bunny's ready to go with round 2 of these units, and there's only Stalkers here, and Stalkers on their own, they're just not very good. They're going to go down, 2 of them go down, 2 of them blink away. Mothership Core looks as though it might fall as well. Okay, Bunny will just turn and focus his attention onto the third base, which looks as though very much so will just be dying here. His own third base morphing into an orbital in position, and this third Nexus does now die, and SnOvSki is in a lot of trouble, I think. Bunny, a little bit of a supply block right now, and no Deepers on the way, so this is actually a pretty big supply block. And as he starts +2 weapons, he's going to drop that mine into the mineral line as well, and forcing an observer to come back home, or forcing an observer to be made in case there isn't one out, and that just takes up robo time, which is very important considering SnOvSki at this point just needs to keep making Colossi. He lost that first one, so he needs to just keep on pumping those out. SnOvSki coming over here with this probe, and that will go down to the mine. And now we've realised that mine is there, as Bunny just loading up a bunch of units. Look at this, 3 full medevacs, all looking as though they're ready to go across in towards the main base. A probe maybe spots this, as Scan comes down and sees the units and where they're positioned here. A few units trying to step into the front, but that's not quite in time as this big drop comes in here. And second Colossus is about to pop out. There's a lot of Marauders there, and there's just nothing to tank. There's absolutely nothing to tank. This Colossus is going to fall. Concussive Shell slows it down. The next Colossus pops out, and that'll go down now as well. Yes, the attack at the natural is deflected, but 2 Colossi falling, and Bunny is making this look pretty easy right now. These Stalkers will continue to fall here. Zealots will come up this ramp, and Bunny will just kite away and get whatever damage he can get done here. No more Colossi being produced. Charge is about to kick in, so these Zealots should just about be able to finally stop these units. I mean, Bunny's just going to get the maximum efficiency out of these. Look at this. Look how many Zealots he's able to take down here. And wave 2, well, the next wave, not really wave 2. Next wave comes towards the natural expansion here. Even lifts up, gets a few units out, will drop them over into the natural, and GG well played will be called. And Bunny takes Team Liquid onto match point here. in this best of 7 all kill